Keeping It Real with Cam Marston is brought to you by C2 Wealth Strategies.
Years ago, I walked onto a stage in Vancouver, British Columbia for a keynote speech rehearsal. Even with only a small handful of people in the room, the size of the stage and the number of chairs sent a chill down my back. The stage was probably 8 or 10 feet above the convention center floor, and there were 7,000 chairs lined up for attendees for the next day. They were coming from around the world, and this would be my largest audience by a long shot. The day of the event, the room was a roar. When the audience chatted between speakers, it was hard to hear because the chatter was so loud. When they laughed, it was deafening, and the laughter lasted forever. Applause was like thunder. I paced backstage, my mouth bone dry, my hands soaking wet, and when the announcer said my name and I stepped out, I remember not being able to see the last row of people. There were too many, and the chairs disappeared into the dark. 7,000 people, 14,000 eyeballs were watching. They quieted after polite applause, waiting for me to start. I opened my mouth and hoped for something reasonably intelligent. I honestly don't remember much about it. I followed my notes, I used my slides, I hit my jokes. The clock flashed 0. I finished up and returned backstage. That moment when I stepped onto the stage, my stomach was in knots. Just before I stepped out, the meeting planner whispered, "Don't be nervous." No chance. In that environment, there was no way to not be nervous, but it was go time. Watching the basketball players during March Madness taking foul shots with the game on the line, I'm guessing they feel much the same. And someone is telling them to relax, that it's the same foul shot they take in practice. It most definitely is not. It's something else altogether. The message I needed to hear that day before my speech, and that I'm guessing those basketball players would want, is something like this. Feel those nerves? Those nerves are good. What you're feeling is your planning, your practice, your hours, days, months, your years of preparation aching to get out and perform in this very moment, this very important moment. What you're feeling is not what people have been telling you. They're not butterflies in your stomach. They're jet fighters, and they're flying in tight formation, weapons armed. Each day you and I face something uncomfortable. It may not be 7,000 people waiting for a speech or a foul shot to send your team to the next game, but we likely confront something uncomfortable every day. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small. Regardless, don't shrink from it. Whatever your age, your years of living has made you ready. You got this. We got this. It's go time. I'm Cam Marston, and I'm just trying to keep it real.